to just jump into now, is that if you're with a white person, you say you're with one, or you're with a white woman, and you hear them say something say for instance, like me and you could bust jokes like them black youths over there are dumb, like.
But when they say it,
but me and you could say it, but imagine you're with a white girl and she's like, them black guys are so dumb, innit?
but I think but that generally comes from I think building familiarity with the person you're with and getting comfortable to a point where you feel like I can say that because they know I'm not a racist because I'm dating you. But then it's sticky because remember we were saying off camera, like there are white women that fetishize black men. Fetishizing isn't the same as having a genuine attraction for.
Yeah.
Fetishizing is I want one because that's just my thing. Yeah. So that's why I said to you, I wouldn't get with a white woman that only dates black men because it means she fetishized, specifically goes after that race, as if to say there isn't other races that she could find attractive. Yeah. But being desirable and being attractive, like beyond my skin color. Knowing me as a person, she goes, if a woman says, I fuck with you, I'm cool with that. But I think a lot of times, it comes from like just seeing any type of black man and you think, are we just like almost seen as Pokemon, like in Dash Out Pokeball, you catch one of us and we're just with it. But then separating from, I think it's a bit different because I think when a black person sees a white woman, we generally got to like her or we do like her. It isn't just we found one, like she'll do. No, like we really mess with her. It's a bit different. Do you know what I wanted to ask you, Do you, do you feel like dating a white guy, do you feel like because of maybe black traditions or how we grew up, where we come from or certain methods, do you feel like, because I've heard some black women say, I don't date white men because the crossover is too much. The crossover meaning I have to explain too much things to him. Like, why do I wake up with a head wrap in the morning? Like, why do I use like these hair products? Why do I have to? You know what I mean? It's like a whole different way of living. So like, do you feel like you have to explain things to your partner or the daily struggles you might go through from as opposed to like dating a black guy? Is it a bit different when you're dating a white guy? Do you think?
No, and the reason why I say that is because I feel that he's become heavily involved in black culture.
Okay.
He eats black food. He listens to black music.
Is that from you though?
No, I think that's just from beforehand. Okay. But then I think the reason why we kind of connected is because when I met him, he had a very good understanding of black culture. I think it's different for black women that are dating men that are kind of, it's almost, black culture is very foreign to them. They've never experienced black food and they're experiencing it for the first time being with a black person. So he very much knew what our culture was beforehand. So that probably kind of gave me that attraction for him as well. Because
right, so like it wasn't just like traditional typical white guy. Like he was quite cultured. Like he learned a bit about.
Yeah, right. Okay. Not saying that I couldn't have dated I couldn't have dated him if he wasn't the other way. But it definitely does help because to me, my culture is a big part of me, and you, whether you are heavily involved in it, you have to accept it. If you don't accept it, then that's a problem for me. And I have a certain way of doing things. I wear a head wrap. I have to wear a head wrap, right? Yeah? I'm black, right? I have curly hair, but I'm black. Yeah? If I don't...
I was waiting for it. I was like, where's the head wrap? Listen, I've heard a lot of black guys there. They don't like the black woman attitude and then rolling over the morning with the headscarf, tongue poked out. Who are you talking to? But yeah, that whole imagery is what it's common to us. Yeah. But a white guy generally will be like, why you do that? Like,
that's what I do.
Your hair is crazy. Like, is that because you know, okay, you know, like I tell people for free, you know, like the average white girl will not notice when you got a haircut. Like they think it's just your hair. No, I'm being serious. No, they notice. No, they don't know. Bro, they don't notice. I said, okay, maybe a commoner, but I'm saying, okay, so like if a white girl's got black friends or she's quite cultured. The average Lily and Amy, if you pull up, whether your head top's fucked, no fade, whatever, they won't notice.
You got a point.
I'm telling you because it's like they think that's just our hair, but our maintenance. If I try to pull up to any black girl, I'll get run from the moment on sight me to when she sees me. It's a whole different view how they see us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, but because it helped that he has had maybe black interactions or past, it helps him deal with you. But like has he ever said anything that's like borderline, like?
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
What's he said? What's he said?
Just go down.
Okay, example, please, example. Like something you said that was like a not like bro, like that can't fly, bro. Something you said.
That's typical, isn't it? These black boys stabbing each other. these young boys stabbing each other.
Okay.
Major no-no with me.
But what's the mood like after, and how do you approach that? As in, like, how do you check him from saying, "Yo, brother"? Like,
I'll be 100% real. I believe that a woman should be submissive to her man.
Right.
I think that's my trigger button. That's when I get a little bit what he would call typical black girl or typical black woman, should I say? I'm a woman, right? And I will have an opinion. I don't believe in berating your man, but if your man does something that you don't like, you have a right as a woman to say, "Look, I don't like that." Do you see what I'm saying?
Naturally,
I don't like it. Like, to you, you might think that it's okay to use the N-word because you might have a few group of black friends that embrace you to use that. That's not okay with me.
You can't say it to
you.
Wait, has he ever said that to you?
No.
Right, okay.
But he would just say, he's got friends that they use it and they wouldn't have a problem with him using it. I have a major problem with him using it.
Because he's not, no matter how much you associate yourself with black
It's
people.
a derogatory term.
It's a derogatory term. We shouldn't even be using it for ourselves.
Yeah, facts.
Right, we shouldn't be using it for that. I'm not a nigger.
But the thing is, I don't let that word have power over me. And I've said this many times. I was saying this to someone the other day, because someone tried to come on my lives and say it, And everyone's like, "Oh, you should go mad." And I was just like, do you think I'm going to let this word have control over me to the point where it erupts my emotions to make me make illogical decisions based on you saying a word to me? Now, I remember my mum used to say this to me when I was younger, and it's only I'm a big man now I can actually understand this. My mum used to say to me, "Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you." Because I remember I mashed up a white youth in school.
Went nuts on him.
When I mashed him up, he went hospital. Like, I was kept kneeing him in his head, and he had these big eyebrows like this, because he called me that word in the playground. So I pulled his thing over his head and I just duffed him up. But I remember I got in trouble, My mum, like, I got picked up by my mum, innit? And she's like, what happened? And I told her the truth, because I never lied to my mum. There's one person.
There's no point.
I just tell her, like, whether I'm in the wrong or right, like anything, I tell her.
Keep 100.
Yeah, because I just feel like she's got my back no matter what. She's always had my back.
Day.
So, like, I said to my mum what happened, and she looked at me and she said, "Son, listen, you can say your mum, you can say all these words, but sticks and stones can only break your bones. Words can don't let no one's words have power over you, son. When they could control your emotions through your words."
They're powerful.
And I was just looking at her thinking, nah, man. He said my mum. He said I'm a nigga.
Talking crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, to me, it was like more of a masculine thing.
Right.
Now I'm looking back at it, it was like you tried to challenge me and you got smoked. Does that make sense? But as I've grown older now, if I was in traffic and someone says something mad to me, as much as I want to crash into their car and do something mad to me, I've got to think about. I've got a lot of things going on for me in my life. How can I let this man's one word make me want to do something irrational to make me lose my freedom for his words?
Right.
So now I've kind of got to the point where the words don't have power. But at the same time, it doesn't have power. I don't be in a situation where I'll let someone think they can disrespect me. I always remove myself from situations where I feel like I could be disrespected. Does it make sense? So if I'm in a room,
close to me, you know better, right?
Yeah.
You know better. You don't disrespect. There's certain boundaries that you just don't cross.
And I think obviously, like, in healthy relationships, you have to sort of like propose certain boundaries, because, like, I think the worst thing we can do in relationships or just dealing with people is assuming someone knows better or assuming they know how to act. No, you really have to sort of guide or sort of let people know. When dealing with me, I don't know about the last person, but me, that can't run. And I think a lot of people don't have that mindset where it's like, I think a lot of people go to relationships just basing it off the last one or the one before that. It's like, no, each relationship is a new situation. So it's like you might have to vet them or sort of like, this is what I do, this is how I move. But a lot of people get sort of surprised when shit don't go their way. It's like, well, did you tell them? Did you communicate that? Then why would you feel like, say, they should just know things, whether they're white or black? Any situation you go into, you got to treat it as a brand new situation. I don't know them from nowhere. They like they don't know my pressure points or like my triggers or what's gonna get me irate, because it might have been cool for her, but me, I'm a whole different energy coming towards you. So you got to approach me, and I think that comes from maturity. And like when you have certain relationships, I think you have to sort of make it known from day one, because the mistakes that some guys and women make is they try to impose things 6 months later. It's like no. Yeah, it doesn't work, does it? Like you can't instill things 6 months later. Like, I've been doing that. So like, if you didn't like me partying, you should tell me from the jump.
I tell you one thing that my partner has said to me. Right, he said that the whole idea of nigger doesn't mean the color of your skin. It means a type of black person that even black people acknowledge and will call each other or another fellow black person as nigger.
You can't get into
An ignorant person.
You can't get into it because the N words, I could say it to like YC now as my brother. So like, yeah, YC's my N word. You know what I'm saying?
A term of endearment.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a bit different.
But that's between us, though.
Right.
You as a white guy, don't try to say
it won't work
because man will strangle you just
right.
on the basis that you tried it. You know what I'm saying?
And why is that? Because it takes on a different definition, a different meaning when a white person does it.
Yeah.
Right, you said the right word, and that's exactly what I said to him. It's endearment. It's the intentions behind why you're using it. When a white person uses it towards a black person, 99% of the time, it's not for endearment purposes. And it's because you're trying to degrade the person, right?
It can never be for endearment because
of course it can't.
I would look at him and think, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
As much as we're close as brothers, you're not my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say you're my homie. Yeah. I like that words. You're my homie. You're my brethren. You know, like Jamaicans.
But you're not my end.
Listen, you will be surprised how many black people will have white friends that will use the N word and will not have a problem with it. And I kid you not.
That's real.
And it is shocking for me. Like I don't understand it. I just cannot get down with
familiarity, though, isn't it?
And I tell you another thing, but people automatically think if you are dating a white person, like I hate this thing where white people are like, do you know what? There's no way that I could be racist. My auntie's black, or my niece is black, or I have black friends, or I've dated a black person. Listen, when black people, black women was enslaved, white men were still sleeping with them.
Facts.
They were still sleeping with them and still called them the nigger the next day, or even the same day, and raping them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mad, innit?
Right. So don't think just because a white person is dating a black person that they're completely in love with them or they're in awe. You can't just assume that. You can be married to a black person, right, and have black kids and still be racist.
100%. It happens on the other end. Like, as in, how much times have you seen a white woman with a black man, a couple mixed race kids, they have one argument, you fucking nigger? How?
Right.
We're 10 years in, 2 kids, and you got angry, and your first thought was, I'm the nigger. Yeah. How was that even in your vocab still? Yeah. When we're so past that's crazy, right?
There's some things I can forgive and there's some things I can't.
That's crazy.
Like, it's crazy, but it's true facts.
Like a racist person will invite you to their home, offer you food, but the moment you leave, slating the fuck out of you. Yeah. And I think that's where, especially traditional old black women really can't wrap their head around a black woman dating a white man because of what they went through and how they was treated. Yeah. So imagine a woman 70, she'll be like, "We doing?" But not even in a form of racism. Just like if you knew what was going on back then, you wouldn't even look at a white man like that because of what he done to us. Yeah. But obviously, you can't live for your grandma because these are different times.
I was raised by my grandmother's white. I was raised by a white woman as well. Okay. So I appreciate both, even though I identify as black and I'm but I was raised and I can appreciate the other side.
Oh, really?
Also,
but so like, do you feel like being raised by a white grandma like? Do you think certain views of yours would be different to mine? Because obviously, being white, despite raising with any color child, their perception of the world, how they see things, are very different. So, like, would you say that there would be a distinct difference if you was raised by a black grandmother as opposed to a white one? Because of how they grow up? I
think what it's allowed me to have, I'm quite diverse within my groups because one thing, like, you can learn different from different cultures.
That's what I mean.
Right? And that's important. Whether you are 100% black or 100% white, it's very good to have diversity because when you have diversity and a mix of people that you have friends and you integrate with, you learn different things. Yeah. Yeah? You learn things. Like, I have Jewish friends. And I look at, and if, say, for instance, if I have a particular friend, they're Asian or they're Jewish, I look at their social and their family construct.
Right. Okay.
Because I see and I recognise that there are issues within our black community. And I think to myself, okay, what are they doing that's different from what we're doing? Right? And one of the things that I found is that they see the wider community as an extension of themselves. We don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem. And I find that when I talk about these things, you get some black people like, oh, but white person, they're doing this and they're stabbing each other. But why are you talking about what black people? I don't care about what they're doing. I care about what's happening in my community. Right. It's the same concept. If the principal brought your child in, right? And your child was misbehaving at school, your child failed their exams, right? And Alice comes up to you and says, oh, don't worry because Jean's child failed. you're not going to care about
Innit?
what the other
Of
person's
course.
or your neighbour's
Of
child
course.
did. You're going to care about what's happening with your children. Just because it's okay for their children to fail, you don't want your
Okay
children
for
to
mine.
fail. Right, exactly. So I think of it like that. I think that we really need to kind of focus on what's going on in our community. And I really don't like the fact that we have this movement where you get black men that put black women down, and likewise you get a lot of you get a lot of black women that put black men down. If you want to date outside your culture, that's fine. You don't need to tear your people down. You can be pro-black. You can invest in your culture. Yeah,
but where do you think that comes from? Like, as in, so okay, like a black man dating a white woman is like, because you obviously we know that there are a lot of issues with black dating in regards to black women. From most black men, they'll tell you their experiences. Like, they're not submissive, they're very like masculine, loud, combative, quite sort of the energy is very like, you can't tell me what to do, which in turn is a different argument, which black men might say, I'm forced to date outside my race and go to a foreign or white woman because these black women aren't containable. Like, they're going, they're not in my grasp. They're just challenging me, like sweating me, like talking like she's a man. Them is very like, like, so then it's like, my first thought wasn't even a white woman, but I feel like that's the only path I can now go down because my own are not where I need them to be. And I feel but I do think generally as a race, black women are definitely the most like, I'm not gonna submit. I don't need a man. I am independent because no other races spout that. You don't ever you don't hear white women, China women, Spanish women say, "I'm strong independence." Only black women say that stuff, which is only going to deter black men because you're like,
what type of black women?
Right.
Have you noticed? Right. If you look at African culture, right, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Uganda, they still believe in the construct of a man, woman, and marriage.
100%.
Right. Woman being submissive. Right. It's only when slavery's come about. If you look at Caribbeans and Afro-Americans, right? Black Afro-Americans, it's those ones that tend to have children outside of marriage, that kind of want this, you know, pro-independent black woman kind of movement. Do you see what I'm saying? And the reason why that is because of slavery, because it's kind of almost embedded into our DNA. Black women have had to become very independent because the men were taken away.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? The rights to be able to have family as our fellow white people was not there to raise your children, you know, as man and wife as we would do. If you look at black men, you know, being raised by their or having their dad in their life, look at how they flourish.
Big difference, isn't it?
It's a massive difference. It's a massive difference. And the reason why it looks like we have no structure in our community, because we are the ones mostly heavily impacted by single parent families.
Right. Yeah,
right. And that's what it is. It's not because we are black. It's because of the problems that have come about of being black, and mainly to do with slavery.
Do you know,
slave mentality.
You made a sick point, you know, You said that in other communities, they look at other people in the community as an extension of their own. So even if there was single parents in that community, it wouldn't look as bad because the people would be helping.
Facts.
They'll be like, all right, I'm going to take your child to this place and they're going to learn this.
Simple.
So your child's always got positive male role models, even if the mother's a single mother,
Doesn't
because
matter.
the community is taking care.
Right.
Like, oh, she needs shopping and stuff. Let's go around to the house. Let's bring her because she's struggling at the moment.
Facts.
Let's go around there.
It's done.
That's thing is, you know what I'm saying?
It's done.
So it's like we're supporting each other more. So a single black woman is not looking like that. But what I have seen is that the government has filled that role in the black community. So the government has filled that role in the black community of being that extension of the community by pumping money and making us think that money is the way of how to get rid of the man out of the household and you'll get more money. So I can see it being a problem in our community, but at the same time, if we did take certain concepts from other communities, then it would be for the greater good of us. And just another thing I want everyone to think, in their minds, where did this concept that black men are cheaters, black men are deadbeat fathers, where did this actually come from?
Black men are cheat.
This is what happens with a lot of black women will get with men from other nationalities and think that they don't cheat. The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Grass ain't greener, man.
Is like,
Listen, it's not.
No, I know it's not. No, I know, but I'm saying, but a lot of black women have this notion that, okay, fuck that guy, that typical black guy. Like, I'm gonna go over there and get dragged the same way, cast the same way, because they haven't changed. Yeah. If you don't change, your experience is not going to change with another man, because you're fundamentally the same woman. Your attitude and your behavior and your view on life. Yeah. If that's the same, it don't matter where you go. The problem's always gonna be in your house because it's you. Look in the fucking mirror, bro. Yeah. and that's what it comes back to. Yeah, that's what it comes back to. Accountability. Yeah. If you just say one day, you know what? Yeah, I would wish that some black women looked in the mirror one day and said, maybe it's me. You know, maybe it's like I'm lacking in areas where the last 3 guys they all did me the same way. Like, are there things I could change? How do I adapt to my partner? Like, do I need to listen more? Do I have to reflect? Do I have to sort of submit in a healthy sense? Because a lot of black women see submissive as a negative, in a negative sense. Like, I'm not underneath you. No, submit just means allow me to lead and show you how to live better. If assuming I can lead, this is the correct way. But a black woman might think, you can't lead me, I can do it by myself. That defense mechanism is ultimately their sort of their kryptonite. It's their kryptonite. Yeah. It's making them a handicap. Because if you don't think a man can lead you, and you're having to be masculine,
do it yourself.
Then you're too good. But see the thing, and that's why they don't understand. Where a lot of black women do not understand, why they're still singleable, miserable, non-cuffed, and non-desirable. Even as far as even on dating sites, black women are the least desirable. Men ain't even swiping on them no more. Bare areas.
The funny thing is, I genuinely think that not all black women. And I hate that. I'm not going to take that brush, but I generally believe that there is an agenda against us right now, and it's being pushed heavily on social media, heavy with these red pill guys. And I don't even class myself as these guys. I just class myself as myself.
A real one.
We just have conversations on what we want to have conversations on. Bro, I could be talking about Germany tomorrow, bro. Or talking about France or Tunisia, or I could just talk about anything.
We're not limited to one.
I'm not limited to one thing, but what I've noticed is that if we do have these conversations about, we do have these conversations about black women, it's automatically targeted as we hate black women. Yeah. And that's the reason why sometimes we'll shy away. So look, they say we hate black women for talking about these topics, but if we start talking about white women and how much we like them and how much
same thing,
we're a sellout.
Yeah.
No,
so it's like, where do we go? Where do we go to find women? Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Where do we even have a conversation? All right, why you podcasters do talk about black women and blah, blah, blah.
Like, we're not dragging you.
Sometimes we don't even talk about it, but we'll just talk about women in general. But it would also automatically be perceived that we're talking about black women.
Dragging.
When my experience could be all Asian women.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm talking about Asian girl. But because they don't know that, because I'm black, they already assuming that I'm talking about them. Or maybe the greater one is, maybe they're guilty of the things that we're actually talking about.
Maybe.
One of the hardest concepts, that people, we all have lessons in life, but one of the hardest things is to recognize your own faults.
Trust me.
It's hard. And the fact is that the reason why you have a lot of black women that are single is because they have not been taught how to be submissive. I can vouch for that.
Or daddy issues.
They have daddy issues, right? They have daddy issues and they've never been taught how to be submissive because mum has always been like, listen, we're black people, we're poor, we need education. Education was always pushed to me. I went to university, right? I studied, I graduated. It was never ever said to me as a child, do you know what? You need to learn to cook so you can be able to be a good wife to your husband one day. That just wasn't pushed on us. We didn't think like that. So how can you expect a woman to be submissive and be a good wife if she was never taught that? Right? How can you?
No, of course.
And the fact is we're not taught that. And because if you have so many women that are they're growing and they've been raised to be independent, get their education, that's fine. Yeah. That's great. Men don't care about whether you've got 3 degrees or PhDs.
Couldn't care less
about that. They don't care about that. Even the most wastest of wastest men want to feel appreciated and recognise themselves as an alpha male.
That's it.
Hence why you will find these men will leave their woman who's got decree, car, mortgage, and they'll find themselves a woman working in McDonald's.
100%.
And these women will be thinking,
100%.
How the hell can he just leave me for this broke ass bitch?
Yeah, thinking I'm the corporal lawyer on like 100 bands a year, and then he's dating.
That's a credit to
who
you.
works in
That's
JD part time because she fucks with me.
Right.
And she understands me.
I didn't hear one lie. I didn't hear one lie.
She understands me.
If you've got
that's
a PhD,
sad though,
if you've got a PhD, that's a credit to you. That ain't a credit to him.
It's like, that's good for you, but what does that do for me?
Yeah, it doesn't. It
It's
doesn't
great
help
for
your
you.
relationship.
You are an
at all.
established, well-refined, oil black woman. How the fuck does that
Unless
benefit
your
me
man
right
is
now?
successful, just as successful as you, it's going to be a hindrance to
That's
your relationship
it.
because men like to feel, no matter who they are, they know their position. They want to feel like the alpha male. They lead, they provide, and they protect in whatever means or capacity that they have. Even the broke-ass men that will try and tell you that you are a gold digger if you want a man, you know, to provide for you. They will take your money in your car and go provide for Amy round the corner.
Trust
or
me, quick.
Shaquan and round the
Yeah,
corner
shout out
and
to
pick
Shaquan,
her up, yeah?
Shout out
Pick
to
her up
Shaquan,
from
kid.
McDonald's and be driving around in your car because deep down he knows that it's his job to be an alpha male.
And nothing else. Like
And nothing
there is no alternative.
Right.
If I don't feel like a man in the home, I'm dipping.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because the moment a woman challenging me, checking me, talking like she's the same as me, it's like it's done.
Yeah.
Your money and your status and your like body being voluptuous, your natural beauty will not hold a man.
No, it
it
won't.
can't hold a man. It's
I'm
how you
pretty
move and how you
willing,
operate.